Hey, what's up guys? Running this live stream on Osmo Pocket 3. Hopefully it works out okay. Let's see if I got audio here. Yep, I do. I got audio. Sweet. Trying to figure this out here and there. So tonight, it's another Friday night. I know it's late, but this is the only time I can get, you know, that time after my kids go down to sleep. And yeah, that's just the only time I get sometimes. Too busy during the week, during the day to do live streams, so I figured we'll just start now. So what I'm doing tonight is I might take some more product photography with the light box, and then I got some picking up to do. I did this video over here, and I got a lot of products sitting out on this game table, so I need to put it all away. So I'll wait for some viewers. In the meantime, I'm going to get some stuff set up. Let's see, viewer activity. Okay. Analytics. Okay. I'll take you guys with me. I'm going to get I'm going to kind of put my inventory together. And I'm going to merge some old inventory. And then that way I've got a bin to put all this, not inventory, but they're new prints for new products that I'm creating. And I just need I need a way to store it. Let's see here. I got this tripod. There we go. That's better. All right, cool. All right, let's see here. Yeah, I'm just going to combine some things. I don't know what I'm going to do with this product. Maybe I'll put it on sale. We'll see what happens. But it does fit in here. I can combine some things together. So that's good. Figure out the right way to do this. Alrighty. Tell you what, this little clip thing is really nice. This it's like a quick release. It goes on my tripod. See if anyone's on. I got 2 viewers on. How's it going, guys? Just checking the chat, see if anyone's chatting it up. Maybe I'll just bring the laptop in. Might as well. I'm merging some inventory that I printed together so I can get a spare bin. So let me know who's on. If you want to chat, I should be able to see it come through. So I gotta put away some products that I printed. I gotta organize them, put them away so that I can free up a bin. So I can put these in there. I think this will work. What's everyone up to tonight? Let's see who's on. Oh, somebody's on. Hey, how's it going, Robert? Just stopping by. Good to see you. Good to see you too, man. How you doing? Hopefully everything's going all right, health-wise and retirement-wise. I have not been to your channel in a while. I need to stop over there, see what you're up to. Good evening. Shats in the dark. Net Ventiv. Hi, Dan. Good evening, all. You doing good, Robert? Good, man. That's awesome, man. Yeah, I'm just printing. I printed a bunch of products, and I'm just merging some of this older inventory. When I say older, I've only been doing this for like a month or 2, but I already changed directions. So I got to figure out what I'm going to do with this inventory. Maybe I'll put it on sale as an unlisted item and just send a link out if people want to buy it for cheap. So they're all good quality, but they don't have the features that the new products have. So, you know, I might just sell them on, you know, on the cheap or whatever. We'll see. I don't know. I got one empty bin. There's one. Have you been posting videos, Robert? I was just curious. I just haven't seen them come through my feed very often. I was just seeing if everything was all right. I've seen a couple a while ago, but not lately. As far as the algorithm pushing your stuff to me. Probably because I changed over to like 3D printing world, so I get a lot of that in my feed. You know how it goes. Yes, once a week for over a year now. Yeah, I know you are so consistent, but once a week is good. That's good enough. You had that one video go like hyper viral, which was pretty awesome, man. That was definitely a moment for me back in 2025, is being part of that viral video. If you guys don't know, Robert at Robert's Active Retirement has a retirement. It's a channel all about kind of retirement, a little bit about finances. He lives in this beautiful retirement community in Georgia, I think, and he hired me to do like a freelance job to do a video intro, right? So we collaborated for like a day or two. I got him the intro. He put it in his video, and the first time he uses it, it was like the 10 things I learned about. It was like he did this video. It was like 10 something things about retirement. I can't remember the exact title, but it went hyper viral. He went like 600,000 views. I think he's got 1 million views on this one video. So it was kind of fun being part of that experience and watching him go hyper viral. And I don't know where you're at now, Robert, as far as channel wise. He's probably up to 10, 20,000 subscribers or something like that. So pretty cool to be a part of that. And I appreciated it. You never know what's going to happen on YouTube land, you know? Nice. Got here early for once. Just Ken J. Thanks for coming, man. I appreciate it. If you didn't see what I was doing, I'm just reorganizing these inventory bins. This is a fair amount of product that I printed. Like here's one bin. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you can. These are like the Nook Solo Decora style. I've upgraded my design and the product pricing, and I've just been going crazy. I got a video on it. It's coming out this Thursday that I did. I've launched most of the changes on Etsy and on my website. I still have 2 new products to still put on my website. So I gotta go through all the product photography. It takes so long to do product photography, I'll tell you. Because you just gotta think of all the angles, the scene you want, the contrast you want. Especially with these products now that I've introduced 4 new colors now. Now I've got a lot more to think about, you know. So yeah, now I got 2 empty bins to store. And all I'm storing is just single prints of these new products. I'm not building inventory. I'm just going to print on demand. That's my new philosophy. It's not like I wasted a lot of money. You know, you guys probably saw the video. I spent some money on this filament. Now I've recouped, I think, probably all of it, if not more than what I spent on this filament through a couple of custom sales. So that's a good thing. So I don't feel like too bad about it, but you know, it is what it is. Like in business, you want to be efficient, you want to be smart about things. And so I learned early, I learned quick. Don't print a lot of inventory. If you're doing custom 3D printing, you don't need to build inventory. Just wait until you get that type of problem where you have a ton of sales where you can't keep up with the inventory. Then you just need to buy another printer and print a bunch of inventory if you have that problem. But it's a hard problem to get to get that kind of traction, you know? So, anyways, so I'm doing good here. Let's see here. I heard you say you were thinking about selling them at a discount. I had a similar issues as my stuff went through iterations. I considered selling things at discounts, but ended up just tossing it. Yeah, that's my debate. I don't really want to toss it. I know that if I sell it for cheap, then that prevents people from buying the newer product. But at the end of the day, I think if I'd like to just expose the experience to other people on my channel. I think I would only sell it to people on the channel. I'm not going to sell it for cheap on Etsy. I don't want that experience for customers who don't know my story, you know, but people who know my story, know what I'm doing, and who want to support the channel, I think I'd be cool with just selling this stuff, you know, at a discount on my website. I can just do an unlisted link, and people can go to my website, sign in, or I don't even know if you have to sign in. I can't remember. But then they can just, you know, buy a couple units. Maybe I can do a bundle pack or something like that, just so that people can experience it, you know. So maybe that's what I'll do. It's obviously a different situation than probably most people who don't have a channel, but you know, it is what it is. Not everyone who comes to my channel is interested in my products. They just stop by, some of them who, you know, got a PS2 or a P2S and, you know, occasionally watch my videos. But so, yeah. But yeah, you guys let me know if you guys are interested in any of these older version products. Let me know, and I can list them on my site, and I can figure out like an appropriate price, you know. It'll be a fire sale of sorts. But they're good quality. Like, honestly, I was still happy with them. I just, you know, I saw how I could position the product and add more value for the customer, and in a way be able to generate just as much revenue, if not more, in the future with this change I made in these modules. If you weren't on my last live stream, I added these modules, and they're on the website now and on Etsy. And yeah, I think it's going to be a good thing for the product. I think the product has a lot more value now. I'm really happy about it. That's an excellent idea. As you know, the material costs are not really a huge factor. Yeah, exactly, right? That's why I made this move, because at the end of the day, I want to bring as much value, and you know, being concerned about filament cost and keeping the product the same just because I have inventory is not what 3D printing was all about. I mean, 3D printing, I remember, you know, when these things first came out, I remember the idea behind them was iterations, iterations, iterations. So my biggest advice, and I'll do another video on this to re-emphasize this to people who are thinking about 3D printing as a business, is to not print any inventory. Just print one print, maybe two at the most, for your first sale, and that's all you need. Because as you get that first sale, just go reprint the next one. There you go. Just have one of each kind of thing sitting around in inventory, etc., etc. That's my new philosophy. Now, that bin is nice and organized. I'm trying to like puzzle these together, you know. They do ship pretty well, because like what's cool is, like, I've shipped 3 of these in what is this? A 10 by, what is this? A 10 by 8 by 4 box. You know, this is a small box. Honestly, it is nothing, you know, 4 inches depth, but it's kind of nice. Like I just basically take the product, kind of layer it like that, you know, so that right there is like only, I don't know, maybe, and I put some padding too, sometimes some paper in between. So right there, I'm not even at 4 inches. I fit 3 of these in that box the other day, shipping one out to my first Etsy customer. So like I said, this video I got coming out is all about me changing it up, because I'm seeing traction with these wall plates in the Etsy world and on my channel too. Like, I've had this one custom order, and as well as a couple people have bought the unit. Scotty, one of my subscribers, he bought a unit, and he did an unboxing video, which you guys might have saw. I posted on it, which I thought was really cool. I was so excited and happy that somebody was that excited about getting a product from, I guess I can call myself an influencer, that he was willing to do an unboxing video of my product. And then they showed the product on his wall installed. It looked great on his black tile. I thought that was pretty cool. So I'm really proud of that, you know. That's part of this journey too, is just being proud of something I made that other people can get some value out of and get excited behind. And so, yeah, that's part of 3D printing too, is I think you're able to express your creativity and engineering through a product, and maybe help other people and make other people happy, you know, even if it's like toys and stuff like that, like the little dragons that, you know, what are those, the flexi dragons, you know, kids love those things. They're They go crazy over them. My son's got 2 or 3 of them. He loves them. Yeah, what's everyone up to tonight? It's Friday. Ooh, I have now 3 bins now. So this consolidation is going good. All right, let me organize this one. I don't think I can get it down any further. I think that's good. Yeah, that's fine. I went from 6 bins to 3 bins for this, I'll call it legacy inventory, you know, which is not bad. I can live with that. I mean, as far as material, I should weigh it. That's what I should do. I'm gonna weigh it. Here's what I'm gonna do, guys. I did a short on this too. So I usually use a filament reel, right? I weigh the reel, and then I weigh the filament reel that's almost empty to find out how much material's on it. So I'm going to do the same thing here, okay? So I've got my shipping scale. All right, so we'll do it in kilograms. So this is 0.6 kilograms. So what is that? 600 grams, okay? This is going to kill me to know how much filament I wasted. 600 grams. What is this one? 2.5. So that was 1.9. So that's 2 kilograms right here in material. And these reels cost me $29 a piece. So this was $60 approximately for this one. All right, let's see this one. Let's see how much I wasted totally. This one's 2 minus 0.6, so 1.4. So this was around $40. I'm gonna call it $40. So 40 plus 60, that's $100 worth of material. Plus this, another 2 kilograms, another 1.4, so another 40 bucks. So it's $140 worth of inventory is what I printed. You know, I didn't calculate this out. I was just printing like crazy, like crazy. So 140 bucks of material. I have more than double, tripled that in the couple sales I've had. So even this first iteration was well worth the effort, the learning experience. And in the process of getting this custom order, I made my product 10x better as far as the quality of the print. I've got it dialed in now. No issues whatsoever. I did have one issue I'll go over in a minute. And then the expansion of this modularity and this second generation product. I'm super, super excited about it. And again, there's no guarantee. I don't know if these changes are gonna work, but I'm happy about it. I'm having fun. And that's what it's all about, you know? Let's see here. Let's see. Dan, can I ask why you don't buy in bulk from Bamboo? I do. When you buy 12 plus, they're $12.99. Oh, I do, dude. I definitely buy in bulk. I'll show you. But I don't buy in bulk for some of the. None of my products are Bamboo Labs. No, actually, let me think. 2 of them are Bamboo Lab filament. The rest are this PCTG. And some of these multicolor ones. Bamboo doesn't have a lot of multicolor, but here, I'll show you. But I buy from Bamboo like just experimental ones. Like I want to explore, like I've got silk, multicolor. What is this one? That's a red, hot pink. That one's really nice. Lava gray, ivory white, ABS. I haven't printed with that yet. But yeah, this is the PCTG drawer. Which, you know, I like this company because they're out of, I think, North Dakota. So it's all, I think they extrude it all here in the United States. So I want to support U.S. vendors as much as possible. I think Bamboo is all from China, which nothing wrong with that. It is what it is, but I've got more Bamboo in these drawers as well. So I've spent money on the Bamboo in bulk. But yeah, I'm not printing PLA. This PCTG stuff, I'm telling you, it's if you get it dialed in, it doesn't feel it just feels really nice and professional for a wall plate in particular, something that goes on your wall in your house permanently. That's why I'm going with this higher end material, higher end engineering. And these modules, I had a few times where I tried PLA, putting these modules on and off, and I had a few crack. And this PCTG stuff, it doesn't crack. It's pretty like durable, you know. But yeah. But you know, with even with 3D Fuel, they offer volume discounts as well. But again, you know, I don't want to spend 500 plus, at least not at this point, on buying filament in bulk. Now that I've realized this whole print on demand direction I'm going, I'm just going to buy 1 or 2 rolls of each color that I decide to support, and that's it. You know, I'm not going to go and buy 10 rolls and get a huge discount on a single color, that kind of thing. But good question. Let's see here. What filament do you use? $30 is considerable. Yeah, it's this, oh, I think I showed you, but I'll show you a close-up of it. It's this PCTG Pro. Might be reversed on the camera. I think this is, let's see here. Yeah, I think it is. But anyways, am I still live? Let me check here. I think I am. Oh, sorry about that. My video stopped. I wasn't sure if I was live. Anyways, it's this Pro PCTG. It's $29.99 retail, but you can find discount codes online. I found one for like 20% off the other day, so I picked up a few rolls. And then there was another influencer that had a 10% off discount code, so I just used that. And I think they offer like an affiliates link. Maybe Bamboo does as well, so maybe I'll look into doing that just for my own channel. Might as well, you know. So, hey Scotty, yeah, the PCTG, it's durable, but you know, you definitely, I can give you tips on it. You want to get the nozzle at 270 degrees C, and then the bed temperature at 90, and you should be good to go. And then don't print tree supports. You'll have to stick with like I do Snug or the, what's the other one called? Snug, and let me look here in Bamboo. Oh, my computer is just not going. Anyways, yeah, I just go with Snug for supports. Tree supports I have not gotten to work. They always fail on me. I think because maybe it's going too fast. I could make adjustments all day, but then it would take me like more time. So you kind of gotta think about your prints a bit for PCTG, and it's almost impossible to print on an angle. But if you print just kind of stuff, you know, vertically, like that thing you printed the other day, it would work for that. The Tennessee hoodie you had, you could print that in PCTG, no problem. I mean, there were some tree supports there. I don't know. Those tree supports, man. Maybe I need to figure out how to do tree supports with PCTG. Or I need to upgrade to an H2D or an H2C and have PLA or PETG as my supports. You know, that would solve my problems. Which I'm thinking about. If I get more sales, if I get another $800 in sales, which probably could take a while, I might upgrade to an H2C. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I placed a big order a month ago for 36 rolls. Woo! Had to get PLA for toy animals for kids at shows. All my parts at ABS. Okay, yeah, so if you're doing local shows, yes, you are going to need inventory. I've seen other content creators who, you know, have got 3D printing businesses and they're doing local shows. You got to have inventory. So yeah, that makes sense. 36 rolls, woo! Man, that's a decent amount of storage. I mean, I have enough storage here, but that's some heavy amount there, you know. That's pretty good. I need to try the other support types. Yeah, don't be afraid to do the other support types. If I could get Bamboo Studio up, I don't know why I'm forgetting what they are. Let's see here. My computer, my M1, has been acting up lately. I don't know. It's probably because I'm live streaming or something. Maybe. But anyways, yeah, try the other supports. They're worth trying out. I also do supports. This product right here is doing a support inside that cavity. I don't know if you guys can see it. Yeah. So it's printing a support. Well, now it's printing the edges here. But yeah, that thing in the middle is all supports inside the product. And then there's also supports below the actual outlet hole as well. So that print's almost done. I think it's got what? Let's see here. It's got an hour and 26 minutes left. What's the longest print you've done, Scotty? I'm kind of curious. I know that that Tennessee hoodie probably took 4 to 7 hours. I can't remember if you said what it was, but that one looked like it took a little bit of time. I do like the Made in America PCTG stuff. Just hard to spend double per roll. Yeah, I agree. I mean, you know, my, man, I just got a sliver. Dang it. There, I got it out. My PLA products, like this one, I think I'm getting this for multicolored filament for like 22 a roll. And then the white, pink, black. The black I get for 15 bucks a roll, which is good. And then the white and the pink I think are around 19 bucks on Bamboo. Plus, if I did it in volume, I could get them for like, you know, like you said, percentage off. But yeah, those aren't too bad. You know, I think in total, I probably spent maybe $200-300 on the PLA total. So not too bad. And I've sold some products, so I'm happy about that. It positions me to sell into retail. So I'm excited to do that. I sent out an email today to my daughter's dance school teacher. I've showed her the product because they have a recital in a week or two. And I was just like, you know, I wasn't like pushy about it. I said, you know, if I understand if you're not interested, but you know, if you are interested in, you know, putting the product at the recital, and let me know how many you need and what you're looking to make out of each unit, you know, that kind of email. And we'll see what happens. We'll see if she comes back. Now let's see here. Do you design your own supports or let the slicer do it for you? Scotty, I let the slicer do it for me. For the PCTG products, not for any reason, it just works. The supports have worked for these products pretty well. But this product, let's see here. Right here, this little hooky-doo, I printed at this 45-degree angle, and by default, it won't put any supports on because like at a 45, it's doing each layer and on top of each other, and it works. But this was like kind of bobbling a little bit during the print. I mean, Bamboo printers, they kind of like are shaky. And so I put manual supports on each angle so that it didn't go back and forth. And then the tool head would hit those little things. Also, even this product here, this little headband thing, I print at an angle, and I do the same thing. I put 3 supports on the back and 1 in the front manually. That works out pretty good too. I do like the manual supports because sometimes it adds too many supports and they're kind of a pain to get off of some products, you know. That is another thing too about PCTG, and I'll do a video on this too. I was thinking about doing something on like maybe reasons to like PCTG, 4 things that maybe aren't good for PCTG. One of them would be supports. The supports on PCTG are a pain to get off. It's kind of sticky. It's kind of weird. It's different than PLA or PETG or PETG carbon fiber. Every other filament is, they're easy to get off. Even polycarbonate wasn't bad. Nylon was a little tough, a little sharp if you ask me. But PCTG, it can be kind of sticky and it really sticks to it. So someday I'm getting that H2C and I'm going to try to print this product with a second nozzle as support. You know, I'm excited to try that, and I will do a video on it. Let's see here. The hoodie was a little under 7 hours. I printed a flexi stitch character, okay, for the granddaughter that took almost 12 hours. Dude, that's awesome. I hope it turned out good. It probably did. Yeah, flexi stitch. My daughter printed a stitch on her printer, but not a flexi. It's just a solid one. They liked that movie and the cartoon for, I don't know, some reason. That's kind of a popular show. I never got into it. I don't know why. But no, that's cool, man. Yeah, you're going crazy on that. You got a P2S. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you do. So, all right. So I got my bins. I'll take you guys out there. Well, first I'll bring the laptop and I'll bring the laptop. Because I like to chat. I like to chat it up with you guys. That's what live streams are all about, you know. Alrighty. I'll show you what I got going on here as well. Check this out. I finished a Lego the other night. Gizmo, look at how cute he is. Mogwai, Mogwai. I used to love this movie as a kid. I was debating on like showing my kids this movie, but I don't know. They're still a little young. I like their innocence. You know, Gremlins, classic. You know, for the time back in the 80s, I don't know if that was like PG-13 or even if it was rated. Maybe it was rated R back then. But compared to the movies today, that movie's like rated R for sure. I mean, the movies today are so lightweight compared to movies like that, you know, back in the 80s, whether it's Gremlins or Aliens, et cetera, et cetera. But I'm a big fan of the Gizmo. My family named a Persian cat Gizmo back when I was a kid, so I'm really fond of that name, and yeah, just like that Lego is kind of fun. Of course, 80s. I'm an 80s guy, man. 80s music, 80s movies, themes. It was just a great time, you know. Looking back on it, those movies are classics. Terminator, that's another good one. I could go on and on probably. But in live streams, you kind of forget like what's going on because you're like focused on like something you're doing. Let's see here. Good idea for a video for sure. Highlight some of the details of a PCTG filament. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Definitely give people insight because I printed with the material quite a bit. And, you know, people are hesitant to try new materials. I don't know why I'm not. I'm just like, I'll go after anything I can get my hands on if I'm willing to spend the money. But ABS, I'm waiting just because like, which I'm going to do a video on this. I've got, what is this called? Oh yeah, external exhaust fan kit. I'm going to do a video on this, and I think I'm going to print, obviously I've got to print something to go on the back of the printer that holds that kit. That'll be part of the video. And then I think, I'm not going to cut a hole in my house. I found these prints where if you open up this window, you can get these insertable PLA or PETG prints in the window, and they can stack maybe all the way to the top. I don't know where I'll put the vent, maybe at the bottom, maybe. And yeah, I think I'm just going to do that. I don't feel like cutting a hole in my house. It's just one of those things, you know, you add another way for the mice to get in, and I don't want that to happen. So I live in the woods and there are mice. And if you don't keep your house tidied up as far as like food and holes in your house, you will get them. So I've learned, when we moved in, we had a bunch of these mice. I had to take care of them. I had to go all around the house, find where all the holes were, and there were tons of holes. And I finally got it to a point where I haven't seen one in months or even a year now, actually. So I'm pretty happy about it, but they can continue to find their way in, you know? So you got to be vigilant against those things. So I don't want new holes in my house. This is not the mouse house. I don't know about you guys. I'm sure some of you guys have had problems with rodents. That's the joys of home ownership, right? Let's see here. You've got some great ideas for upcoming videos. Can't wait. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the problem is time. You know, that's always the problem. Time is my enemy. Time is my enemy number one when it comes to business, entrepreneurship, YouTube. Yeah. My son drew this art. They always do these, it's called Art to Remember in elementary school. And so every year they do them. I always buy one of these for each kid. Well, my daughter's out of the Art to Remember stage now. And my kids always buy a blanket of their art. So I think that's pretty cool. But let me show you what I got going on here. It's kind of crazy. So I did a video yesterday or something on this new direction of my products. And so I set all my products out over here in like kind of a different colored positions. I got red, black, pink, and then my standard colors, white and almond. So I expanded to 3 more colors, and I'm expanding to a 4th. Crazy enough. I'm expanding to the Stanley yellow, right? Or no, DeWalt yellow, right? Why am I saying Stanley? DeWalt yellow for the workshops that are DeWalt theme. I have a DeWalt drill, which I use all the time. So, and I think I like this yellow, and it is the toolbox yellow from that company. So is that red from Milwaukee. And that's that custom order. I'm gonna be launching that video on Sunday, talking about that custom order. So you be on the lookout Sunday morning for that. I still have to post it. I schedule out my videos for Sunday and Tuesdays usually. Oh yeah, this was part of that custom order, was a 2-gang duplex unit. This was a print that had like this weird kind of failure. I don't know if you can see it. It's like this bubbling that happened right here on this. I don't know if this was a seam. I don't think there was a seam here, so I don't know what happened. It's kind of weird. I haven't seen that problem since. I've been printing a bunch, but I saw it once on that, and I was kind of annoyed by it. But you know, it's fine. It's part of 3D printing. You're gonna have failed prints, you know. So that's what I was doing. So now I got to pick all this up, all these. I've taken photos of all of these products, and I need to take photos of the yellow product, as well as, now Scotty, you are the first module customer, because I gave you a freebie, the modules. Okay, I printed out some yellow ones. I think these look pretty sharp against the black. Maybe some Pittsburgh Steeler customers might want some of these products. We'll see. And yeah, I'm gonna print a lot more different modules. I'm not print, but I'm gonna engineer more modules. So that's gonna be fun and exciting. And you guys let me know too if you want any, if you're interested in any modules, if you've bought the product, let me know. I know Scotty, you had the product installed in your kitchen, so let me know if you have any ideas there. And I'll start working on some kitchen items. But I think I'm gonna focus on the bath first, because my other products are bathroom products. And so, but these modules, they don't take very long to design or engineer out. They're very small and they're quick to print. You know, what is this? You know, it takes like 20 minutes to print this thing. So I can tell you guys all about these, but I'm gonna pick up real quick. Well, I do have a lot of people on. Maybe I will just tell you guys about each module that I have. This is called the tool rail, and it holds 4 screwdrivers or nozzles or files or anything like, you know, that's kind of skinny essentially. It's like a 10mm hole, and I designed it for my bamboo printer nozzles. So it'll work for you guys if you have bamboo nozzles. I think the nozzles are the same size for the H series and the P series. I'm not sure on the A series, but I'm sure they probably fit in these. And then I've got just the hook, okay, simple small hook for your keys, small wrenches. They even work for bathroom products like hair ties and hair scrunchies. I took photos with my daughter's hair scrunchies and hair ties, and this worked out. This will be part of the bathroom module. You know, so we'll see. Now, Scotty, I did make one adjustment to this unit. I had to thicken it up a little bit here because it was kind of drooping slightly. You know, if you really want this, you know, let me know. I can send you one, or you can just order another bathroom bundle down the road. So I made one adjustment from the set that I sent you. And then I've got the bit bar, a 10 screwdriver bit holder, like that. It's pretty cool. And then I've got the cord keeper. So this is just a simple cord keeper, and it does 2 different thickness for 5-volt USB charging cables. So, you know, because I found some cables of mine that were really skinny, like these Apple ones, and it was too loose on the thick part, so I had to create a smaller one. So, you know, hopefully it'll work for most cables out there. It's not going to work for a big, thick HDMI cable. You know, it's not really intended for that. So, let's see here. We have a long countertop on the back wall of the kitchen, and one end is a charging station. Yeah, which I saw you had the 3 USB ports on that. It works great for that situation. Yep. Upselling me already. That's right, dude. That's the idea behind the modules, is that I can lower the price of these to get traction, to get, what is it called? Closing, or what is it called? Conversion rate. Sorry, conversion rate. Lower the price, but then have this as an add-on for $9.99 to get me up to that $30 price level. Because maybe somebody might just buy this and plan on buying this at a later date, and then it gets them coming back and they see new products. Maybe I've got something else that's not a wall plate, right? I've got maybe other bathroom widgets, or kitchen widgets, or 3D printing widgets. Who knows? I got lots of things up in my head as far as like ideas. Now I did get a pegboard here so I could show potential vendors or sourcing personnel at companies that are doing retail, just to send them a photo and like, here's my 7 products or whatever, right? So I can even let like that dance studio borrow this unit at their little recital. That would work too, or I'll just buy another one for them to do that. So I got that. I did a bunch of this earlier this week. Some of this, I just made all this packaging, got these things all set up. So been busy. So let's get these bins. I gotta pick some of this stuff up. It's just a mess. So yeah, I want to sort by. Yeah, I'll just keep the colors all together. Oh, and then all right. So I did the modules, right? So that was the first upgrade, and then I had 2 problems that I've been trying to solve. Well, not trying to solve. There's 2 problems with this design. I like this design, and I'm keeping this design because I think that having a full shelf is really nice. And I think like the person who bought the custom order, they have a tool shop where they probably have tons of bits and little gadgets that they want to fit and use this full shelf. But the original design was to charge your phone on, right? And I talked about this in a previous live stream, maybe in a video too, where I was exploring, because right now on my phone, you have to charge it upside down, right? Like this. Charge it up here. And ideally, you would charge it at the bottom. So I was exploring the idea of installing a cross-slit grommet into the unit. And so I made a test print a while back, and I had it working. It's just I knew it was going to take me a bit to model putting this into the product. And so I finally got around to it as I was making these modules and doing all these changes. So I made a new version, okay? And I wouldn't say it's better, it's just different, right? And it's gonna be the same pricing as the Solo and Duo, because I made a Solo and Duo of this version. And it's got 2 cross-slit grommets right at the bottom. And you just, I don't have a, well, I do have a USB cable. Yeah, you just take your little USB cable, you know, you plug it into your little charger, and now it's really firm, which is good because as this is sticking out, you can get your phone on there and it won't tip over. It's nice and firm. I mean, if you do pull your phone out, you might want to hold the bottom, or else you might just pull the wire up. So it is what it is. No product's perfect, and so that's where I'm at with it. And then I also added, let's see here if I have it. Oh, it's right here in front of me. So the other problem was with like hair dryers or, you know, products that have these big, you know, 8 DC bricks, I think they are. Or no, these are AC adapters, I think, right? I don't remember. Anyways. But yeah, you plug these things in, you got to have clearance for this, or else you have to go upside down, which works on these wall plates. You can still, you know, plug these in upside down, but you know, this supports that version, which I think for bathrooms is kind of a big deal with hair dryers. So I had to come out with this version, and I came out with pink for my daughter, and this looks great in a bathroom theme setting. So I'm really excited about it. I went out to my garage and I had this pool filter for a little kiddie pool. Well, it's not little, it's kind of big. And I tested it against this, and it cleared this pretty well. And it fits my phone, which is a Samsung Galaxy 22 Ultra, which is a pretty big phone. This is as wide as the full build plate I could go, like 250 or whatever it is, 250 millimeters. If I want to make the shelf any bigger, I'd have to get an H2C or an H2D. So yeah, this is fun though. I'm having a lot of fun making these products. So that's the Duo, and then the Solo. Let's see here, I got one here. There's the Solo, and then again, the modules fit. There's 4 slots on this one. There's 8, you know, 4 times 2. And then this one has 11 slots. And then the other Solo has 7 slots. And Scotty, you've got that Solo. It's got 7 slots. I wasn't going to give you the older inventory. I was going to give you the newer inventory because, well, it wasn't inventory. I just printed it on that live stream. And that print was the print that I sent you. And because I want my customers to be happy. I want my subscribers to be happy. That's just how I'm going to roll. Let's see here. How about just a slot that the cord can slide through on the bottom of the shelf? Yeah, that could be possible. You're saying like, you know, maybe put a hole here. But then it adjusts the aesthetics a little bit, right? Now you've got, like, let's say you put bits here. Now you've got a hole here. Now I could put a grommet there. But this thing here, look at how big this is. I mean, even if you were to plug it in here, you have to just clear out the entire middle of this unit. It's so big and bulky, including hair dryers. They're not this big, but they're still a decent size that you would need a pretty big hole to fit that in. So, you know, this is the design I went with. It is what it is. Now, some people have mentioned to do the top shelf. Now, I've seen that on Etsy. Somebody does have a top shelf version. It's more of like a square, not a rectangle like this is. But they have to have arches because it's going to lean forward. It's gonna, if you put something heavy up here, it's gonna be top heavy versus this pushes against the wall, right? So you'd have to break this in half in order for, I mean, you wouldn't be able to. There's not enough weight you can put on it. So that's one of the reasons why I didn't want to do a top shelf, because there's already somebody doing that. And then you need these arches here to support it. And I thought it would kind of look weird in the house with the top on it. You couldn't even tell it was an outlet. So this still kind of matches the outlet of your house. And You know, my daughter agreed with me on this. If you have a shelf on top and, you know, you go to plug something in, you got to kind of reach under and you're not exactly looking. You'll have to like bend over and find the plug. You know how annoying that is? You know, you go behind a dresser and you try to plug something in, you can't look at it, you got to feel around for it. That'd be kind of the same thing with the shelf on top. So that's why I decided to keep the shelf on the bottom. So it's a design decision that, you know, I don't know. So far, you know, as far as momentum, you know, I've got some of the orders from obviously you guys on the YouTube channel, and I got one order. So I'm going to stick with this design and keep going forward with the product design. So, hey, what's up, Gamer Game? How you doing, man? How's your night going? Yeah, the slot would only work for the phone. You did the right thing for the hair dryer plug. I like it. Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks, Scotty. I appreciate that, man. Now, question for you. Are you going to... I know you're doing the short form videos for your 3D prints. Are you going to, like, continue doing that? Are you looking to be a YouTuber? Are you going to do long form? Just kind of curious. I never get anything done doing these live streams. I just talk and chat it up, talk about my products and me, you know, all that, showing you guys what I'm doing. But that's part of live streaming, you know, you got to be active, you got to be talking, hang out, you know. You don't want to ignore your audience by doing some task, you know. You can do little things here and there. That's the way I look at it. All right, so I got the pink put away. Let's get the black put away. Now, I will show you too in a minute some other things I made so I could make all this magic happen in a e-commerce reality. All right. Yeah, I do. This black is really nice. And I've had 2 orders now, 2 custom orders, special request black. So keep black in mind, guys. If you guys are creating a product, maybe that installs on a house, black is pretty popular, I think. So keep that in mind. And that's one thing too I like about doing this YouTube journey and building this business is any little thing I'm mentioning about the process, I'm not trying to keep secrets by any means. This is not something that I'm looking to be a multimillionaire on. This is just something I'm having fun doing. It's a hobby business, in my opinion. It's a little side hustle, you know. If I can make this business profitable and not spend so much money, it'd be a good little side hustle, you know. Maybe I could make $5 grand a year. That's what is that a month? That's $500 a month. You know, if I could turn this business into $500 a month, that's a car payment. I'm happy with that, you know. So I'm not like in some secretive mode like, oh, my special patents and my special printing abilities. I'm not going to share those trade secrets with anyone. Forget that, man. This world is big enough for all of us here to take each other's ideas and make your own engineering and your own vision come to life. You're not going to copy somebody else completely. You'll just take an idea or you'll take a learning from that person. And, you know, I'm making a decent amount of money on YouTube by sharing this information, and that's good enough for me. It's not $500 a month. I wish it was, but it's good enough, you know. I'm happy with it. So whatever I can share that comes out of my blabbing mouth, that's worth it to me, because I like helping people. You know, you get to an age, I'm 46 now, and this is kind of a way of giving back, I think, and I like that. You know, sometimes you can give back with money, you know, donate to organizations, but I think giving advice, I mean, that was my original intent of this channel anyways, was to give guidance and wisdom to my kids and my audience. I'm just going to continue to do that. I'm not going to stop. I was just talking to my wife saying we haven't had a sale in a month and then just had a sale on Etsy, LOL. Very small order for $5, but it's a sale. Heck yeah, dude. Yeah, that's a tough feeling, you know, if you're going through, you know, just, you know, dead, your e-commerce is dead for a while. Like, it's just a bummer feeling because you put so much energy into your vision, and then when you get one, you're like, yes, there's still demand for your product. So dude, that's awesome. Congrats. I'd like to do both long and short form on YouTube. I'm really struggling getting started though. Dude, you don't need to rush, Scotty, by any means. Just take your time. I think you're doing it right with the 3D printing. Start with shorts. Show 3D prints. People like to see 3D prints. There's nothing wrong with that. And you're talking in the video. Get used to doing that versus doing a talking head first. I was nervous too, dude. I'm 46. And if you go back, my original videos on there, my first one, dude, it's like night and day as far as comfort level goes. Even the live streams, I was super nervous doing my first live stream. But now, I mean, you still have to kind of think about things, but I feel more comfortable about live streams now. Even videos sometimes, like, if I'm really thinking about it, if I'm overthinking it, then, you know, I'll kind of I'll just stumble through the video sometimes. But hi, Fishers of Men 437. Hi, how was your day? Yeah, my day's been going great. It was a little cold, unfortunately. We had a baseball game scheduled and it got canceled. So I was kind of disappointed because it was sunny out, but it was windy and cold in Michigan. We had this cold front come through, but it was a good day. I was able to update my Etsy site and my website to get these new modules. You know, I showed them before, but I got these new modules up on Etsy and on my website, got them dialed in. And I'll talk about that too. I got to do a video on what I learned doing this product photography. It's pretty good stuff. And you might be interested, shots in the dark. I'm kind of curious what your process is for product photography. But I might do a video just on product photography alone. Again, I'm no professional, but this is just what I experienced. Worked for me on this product photography. Maybe I'll show you guys. I'll just show you guys my computer, one of these photos in a minute. All right, got my white units. Now, let's see here. Now, one thing I didn't think about, I stopped printing inventory, right? But for this one, the solo left and right? This is the, let's see this side. This is the left. I don't know how you guys are seeing it. I think you're seeing it on the left. I think, yeah. Anyways, I printed 2 of these. I didn't really need to. Why didn't I think of just flipping it horizontally in Photoshop, right? It's just so silly of me. But I have an extra one. If I get a sale, I'll ship it out. But no big deal. And I didn't even think of that earlier on my earlier prints, unfortunately. So I stopped right there, and I only print 1 now, and I just flip horizontally. And I do the same thing in Bamboo Studio. I just take 1 print and I flip it on the y-axis, and now I've got the other version of the product. Let's see here. When it's slow, I tell my wife and friends that I'm equating my worth to my Etsy sales so they understand while I'm feeling down. I see. I wish I could ignore it better. Just need some time, I suppose. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. I've gone through those emotions as well in this process. You know, I printed all the inventory, and then, you know, you don't have any SEO at your website. Even Etsy, the first 15 days, I got barely any traction. I had to start advertisements to get traction and people favoriting items. It's an emotional roller coaster. It's similar to the YouTube journey. YouTube is like this. It's a roller coaster. You'll have a high where you're going viral. I had 1 viral video back last year. And then the videos after that, you know, get like 40 views, 20 views, 10 views or whatever. So it's a roller coaster. Now I'm finally settled in with YouTube, fortunately. I don't have any emotions about it. I don't even think about it, to be honest. I barely look at the analytics. Occasionally I'll look at the views and the revenue. But I just post. I don't even care anymore. And that's the way I'm thinking about this business too. Just Ken J is, don't be emotional about it. Just post your product. If things aren't moving, change your strategy a little bit. Don't get emotional about it. Be strategic. Don't get emotional. It's kind of like the stock market. It's like a roller coaster, right? Stocks. And you get emotional about them. And when you do that, you're not thinking clearly to either reposition yourself in the stock market or in 3D printing for your products. You got to think about it logically and reposition. Reposition. That's what I'm doing here, is repositioning. Similar to how I would do that in the stock market, you know? That's the way I think of things. That's how business is. Business is constantly repositioning and not getting emotional. And the best businesses that stay alive reposition. They reposition all the time. And the ones who don't, they usually die off. Now, some of them, you know, they make the mistake of repositioning and they make a mistake, right? Like, I don't know, Cracker Barrel had a problem earlier last year or whatever with their logo. So it can go in the other direction. But for the most part, if you think about it logically, you're probably going to make your product better, you know, or you're going to create an accessory that goes with your product that helps sell that product, right? Doing good. I just designed a component. It's like an adapter, electric wall vac adapter. Cool. Okay. Connect to the wall and hose. It's still printing. Awesome, man. Cool. 2 more hours. All right. How long is the total print? Just curious. Let us know. What type of camera setup are you using? Mounts. I'm just using the DJI Osmo 3, Pocket Osmo 3. And I've got here a quick, what is this thing called? Oh yeah, here it is. It's called the Ulanzi Quick Connect. So this is attached to the Osmo 3, and you just press these two red buttons here, and you can detach the camera real easy. And then I have here a monopod Best 360. And the reason I went with this thing is because of this really heavy counterweight. If you guys don't know, like if you haven't seen my older videos, I used to always go and walk and talk outside. And I might still do a couple of those. But I did a few where I was standing in the woods or on top of a hill. And it was real windy in the winter. I'd go out there like in 20 degrees Fahrenheit. And it was real windy. And I didn't want this Osmo 3 to tip over. So I got a fairly, I don't know, I think this Best 360 was maybe 120 bucks or something like that, but fairly expensive monopod. I mean, you can get monopods for probably 20 bucks or whatever, but I wanted a heavy one because I didn't want this thing tipping over. I even saw this. I was recording a video when it was so windy outside. It was kind of bowing to the right, but it held up. It did not fall over, and I finished the video with this thing kind of leaning over with the wind. It was kind of fun. Now, let's see here. I just use my iPhone. I do really need to take better photos. I give out parts to friends and ask them to take photos in use. All right, that is what I'm going to talk about. Shots in the dark is this strategy I'm using. You said you're doing something that connect to the wall and hose. Okay, so something that connects to a wall. So I'm going to show you that in a second. The print is personal, 6 hours. Okay, cool. Gamer game. So, shots in the dark. Here's what I changed with my photography. Now, I do have a pretty nice camera for photography. Phones can do great too. They take great portrait shots, so don't even sweat the smartphone. They're great. I think you can do great photography with those smartphones. I have an A7R II. I bought this years ago for a couple $1,000. Obviously, it's not worth that anymore, but it still takes great photos. It's a 50 megapixel camera. I've got like this G Master. What is this? 24 to 70. You know, it's got really great bokeh. But for product photography, I'm not taking things out of focus. I'm at probably a 7 aperture, I think, because you don't want anything fuzzy on your product. You want it to be in focus. So, but anyways, you definitely want to get yourself a light box. It makes things a lot easier. But here's my little trick that I'm doing now. You know, say what you will about AI, okay? there's a lot of problems with AI, no doubt. I don't want AI to adulter my product, okay? So what I'm using AI for is simply the scene. The scene is the hardest part to set up, right? The AI can do a great job at creating a scene. Now, I've been asking it to print, or not print, I keep saying print. I've been asking it to create a scene with tools, bits, screwdriver bits, stuff like that. And it does hallucinate on that stuff. So I will say that you got to be careful about what you ask it to create. But what I did was I needed, so let me take a step back. So I always take product photos, you know, here, I'll just turn this on just slightly. Maybe it won't be that bright. Yeah, that's not that bright. Okay, let me move this. Give me a second. And I'm sure you do this too. But, you know, I'm taking product photos just like that, and then I do like a 45-degree angle. Two simple product photos, you know, of the product, nothing attached. But then I took these little, I had these sorry, I'm like moving you all around here. Let me sit down. Again, you guys know me. I don't like plan out all these live streams or anything. So I had these little, I don't know what you call it, these little MDF chalkboard boards, I guess. I bought them at Lowe's years ago, and I had them in my garage. And so I decided to cut them up. Now I did those presentation boards. If you didn't see that video, I've got all these presentation boards. There's one over there where I mounted the products, and I thought, oh, maybe I might do a local show. But I didn't think to make these presentation boards and for the light box, okay? And so I bought some, you know, one gang boxes that I made for those presentation boards with a single outlet. That way, now I can mount it, you know, like this, okay? And now I can put it in that light box so I can get a perfect shot of the product facing forward or facing at an angle. And I take 3 angles. I take a 45 one way, 45 the other, and straight on. And then I upload the product standalone. I alpha channel everything out, all the pixels. You can remove background in Photoshop real easily. And then I take the photo and I say, hey, AI, here's the scene I want. Take my photo of my product and place it on the wall in the scene, and don't change it. You got to make sure it doesn't change it. Now, normally it doesn't change it, but that's just something you're going to have to do. And sometimes it screws it up. Then you got to throw it out, the photo that it generates. But man, it's pretty impressive what it can do. Let me go back to, let's see the chat here. Gamer Game, I just set up my YouTube channel just now. I'm thinking of posting live prints, but who knows? I have a lot of idea like Etsy, so far local service. Okay, so you're doing local sales. Shots in the dark, that's a great idea. Okay, let me show you what this thing generated. Now, again, they're not all perfect. You're gonna have to play around with it. You're gonna have to describe your scene in great detail. That way it doesn't screw up any aspect of yours. But dude, check this out. Let me find this photo. Okay. I mean, you can go on my website too and find this, but let's see here. All right, here. This is the coolest one I created, I think. It's on my home page. Okay. Here, let me maximize that. 1 second. Okay. Here, let me get, here, I've got the presentation board right here. It's kind of funny. All right. 1 second. Okay. All right. So yeah, I had this mounted, right? I put all the modules on with the stuff on there, right? Put my keys on there. And look at what, let me lighten this up a bit. Look at what this thing generated. Turn your outlet into a mini workstation. That's what I'm trying to convey. And I simply asked it, said, hey, I want a workshop theme in black and red, and I forget what the other, part of the prompt was, but I said, I didn't even have to tell it not to mess with this. This is the raw photo. There is no difference there. I could pull up the raw photo. It is the exact same photo. You can even see the print lines on the front of the product. So it did not manipulate anything here, but it created this. This scene is what I want to represent for people to understand the story. I was on another live stream for this DoorDasher that I'm subscribed to, that I'm good kind of buddies with. And somebody on there went to my website and said, hey, I don't understand your story or your website. It doesn't make sense to me. So I've been trying to get that story clean for my audience on, not so much on YouTube, but like for anyone that goes on my site. If I do advertisements, when they land on there, I need for them to understand exactly what I'm trying to sell. It's pretty niche down. It's clean up the clutter. That's essentially what it is. But a lot of websites are, you go to their homepage and you're like, what are they doing? Are they selling a product? Are they selling a service? Et cetera, et cetera. So I'll show you the other one that this thing did. Let me find it. Oh, this is sweet too. Okay. I used my phone for this, this photo because I couldn't get that big camera inside of, inside this pocket where these slits are, right? So I had to get the phone out. And here, I'll show you the original here. Yeah, here it is. Okay. This was the original photo, okay? You can probably kind of see it. Let's see here. You can probably see the little notches in there, okay? The slits, essentially. So that's the original photo. And then I simply described what I wanted it to do to give the story of how the modules work. Snap-in modular system. It's got little white arrows that it drew on the photo, pointing to the slots, compatible with all Tecton Nook modules, and then the bench and that same black and red theme. And again, that kind of came from this custom order that was black and red, so I'm kind of going with that kind of flow. And maybe I'll do another one in the yellow. We'll do another snap-in modular system. The problem is with AI is that it sometimes won't repeat the same theme, or it'll just come up with some different image. You sometimes have to almost upload the same image it generated if you want something similar. You say, hey, here's the example, here's my new photo, make this happen, right? You got to give it the details, right? I can't explain all the details, but you just got to play around with it. Now, I'm using ChatGPT. I've heard Anthropic is just kicking butt, taking names these days. But yeah, pick your flavor of the day for the AI stuff. But it gives you, again, you need a scene, you need a story, you need a problem, right? A problem to solve. What problem are you solving? That's what I'm realizing. Now, I don't know if it's working. I mean, I don't have a ton of sales. But at least I'm positioning in a way that I think I can get people's attention with something that doesn't look fake at all. It looks just professional. That's all it looks. Now that may hurt me actually on Etsy. I feel I'm not putting it all over the place. Just I'm sprinkling those images here and there as the product photos. I don't want to go hardcore graphics, AI graphics, because I think Etsy is a place where authenticity matters. So you don't want to go too corporate in Etsy. So I'm just mixing it in here and there. But for my website, I'm going more corporate, more professional. That's just how I'm going. So let me see. Just want to make sure you guys are still here. I just haven't seen any chats come through. But hopefully that gives you some ideas, shots in the dark. If you need to build some sort of apparatus for your prints, don't hesitate, you know, and get yourself a light box. That definitely helps. I think your phone's fine. I've done videos. I've done other product photos in my bathroom with my phone. I think the phone's fine. Phones are great these days. They're probably better than the A7R II, to be honest. Sometimes the colors are more rich and vibrant with phones than with these professional cameras. Probably depends on how well you can do your professional camera. You know, some people know how to use them, some people don't. I'm pretty decent with mine. I've learned a lot over the years and taken thousands and thousands of photos, so I kind of know what I'm doing with it. I think my photography is pretty decent for these products, so I'm happy with it. Yeah, it helps big time. Dan, you're the man. Dude, hey, I'm learning as I go, you know. I don't know. Am I learning this stuff from other people on YouTube? No, I'm just kind of like, I mean, I'm learning from people who are giving suggestions, you know. But I'm just trying things, you know. And I've used AI quite a bit. Like, I get how good it can be and how dumb it can be. And you just got to play around with it, you know, and think of ways of you know, putting your product in a scene. I just didn't think of this little direction until just recently, you know, so I'm still just learning myself. Alrighty, got my game table kind of cleared. This says I've extended my business from that little 100 square foot workshop. This is my extension here, is this little game table area, because we don't play games down here all the time. We're busy, you know, kids are busy with sports and everything. And but this does help, having this little temporary area for that light box over there. So it does help to have a little area. I'm sure my wife gets annoyed seeing this stuff. She doesn't come down here a lot, so it kind of helps. And I did print, you know, when I went through this whole iteration thing. Yeah, I got my nozzle there, a couple screwdrivers. You know, if you're not moving your wall plate, they don't fall over. But yeah, I printed these little holders. Now, I made big ones for those presentation boards, but then I chopped them in half on bamboo slicer, because these took like, even these ones, printing 2 of these took 7 hours, which I think is kind of a long time for a little presentation board holder thing. But it was worth it because I was able to create these amazing scenes with AI. Otherwise, you know what people used to do, right? They would hire a firm in New York City, a big expensive marketing firm, and they would create scenes with, you know, they would buy, you know, like a whole bathroom, essentially, like a fake bathroom, put it in a studio, get the lighting just right. And before you know it, you've spent $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 to get product photos for, you know, maybe 1 or 2 products. Forget that, man. That's why AI is taking all of our jobs. And it's just what it is. You know, it's going to get better and better. I've talked about this on the channel, probably here and there. It's just an unfortunate reality. But that's, you know, this has changed even in Photoshop. I mean, people have been able to create their own product photos and scenes using tools in Photoshop and all that, layers and things like that. So this isn't anything new, but it's just quicker with AI to build a scene and a story, more so than it ever has been. So, hey, I'm just going to take advantage of it because everyone else is. All right, got to get my pink in there. All right, I got my single units. Now, I made one mistake when I was making this unit here. Now, it's not a huge mistake. I already fixed it. I made this unit deeper just so that the phone could come out at a better angle, or just so that the phone could not fall over, essentially. And you could hold more, like bigger items, essentially. This has been like this for the whole time, actually. I made it deep a long time ago. But then this product, I needed to widen it out because I wanted my phone to fit in it. And I actually moved the shelf into this plate by about 5 millimeters. And so all the product photos I took were a little shorter depth. You can't notice it from product photos, so I can't really ship these out, which is fine. I'm just going to keep them for product photos. But I got them all fixed. I printed one today, and that one that's printing right there is a wider version as well. So yeah, so I'm glad I caught that. I almost screwed up. And actually, the way I noticed it was when I was recording that video, I noticed that something fit in this and didn't fit in this. And I was like, oh, I screwed up. So I fixed it this morning. I got everything working. Everything's good. And I'm happy. So again, I want consistency. You got to think about these things when you're, gonna ship a product. You want everything to be consistent across the board. If somebody were to buy this and something fit in this and it didn't fit in this, that would be a problem in my opinion. So I got to make sure everything's consistent. Now I will say that this grommet does affect, the difference here. There is a difference, a clear difference. You might not want to stick something on the grommet. It's not going to be the same experience as this because this is designed for a phone specifically. But that's just a difference in the product. So it is what it is. The little nuanced details, I'm sure you guys understand exactly what I'm talking about. All right, so I've got, let's see, I got red, black and pink in there. I think I'll just put the yellow in the red when it's done. So there we go. Check this out. Here, I'll just lay them out for you guys. All right. So I've got all the units for product photography. One print of each variant, except for the left and right, because I can flip those horizontally. I'll tell you what, that's the only disadvantage to wall plates is you got to support Decora and duplex. There's just a lot of variation there. It is what it is. And I have to do these left and rights because if you look around your house, there's wall plates like here. Perfect example, right? There's wall plates right here and right here, This one, I don't even think, well, I guess my shelf might fit on either or, but yeah, this is gonna block right here. Even up in my bathroom, I've got one that's right next to the mirror. So not even my first product would even fit there. This next generation product, now I'll show you this. So now I added a little bit on this side because I like the aesthetics, right? I like this whole kind of wraparound thing, but this would not even fit on my bathroom mirror. The only thing that would fit would be this one because now it's just like the regular wall plate. You don't need anything. You can be butted up right next to, the trim here essentially. So this will work on my bathroom and anyone's bathroom. So that's kind of why I didn't do this full shelf because I want this one to support a real tight clearance when it comes to something next to your wall plate. So those are done. Basically, those I'm just going to keep for product photography. And, maybe, if I were to do any local shows. The problem with local shows is I don't think I want to print a ton of inventory, because I might make changes. I might change my mind, right? One of those things. I got to take product photography of this yellow. I might just do that on this live stream. Let's see here. I want to keep up with the chat. I was concerned with the plate being a little loose on the outlet, but it's not. The tolerances are super tight and it fits great. Yeah, all these wall plates, I made sure it was really tight. You got to be careful too. Like if there's any like, I guess, like loose filament like on the back here. I don't want to like rip off a bunch because then it'll get loose. So I got to be cautious about that as I'm, you know, cleaning up my, what do you call it, supports and any plastic nards that are maybe hanging off the edge or something like that. So, but yeah, dude, that's great that it worked out good for your unit in the kitchen. I think it looks great too with the black tile behind there. I think it's awesome. Hopefully it works out as far as functionality, you know, using in everyday use in a kitchen. So I'm excited for you. That's awesome. All right, let's see here. Oh yeah, and I did show in this video, but these are all the test modules that I printed. I printed some of these in polycarbonate. It's pretty strong stuff. I don't know if I'd want to break it because I might get like shards of plastic in my face. But yeah, this stuff is pretty strong. I definitely recommend printing in it. It's kind of fun. It's a fun challenge. You got to heat the bed up to 100 degrees C. And I do brim with 0 millimeters. So it's actually attached to the product on the bed, on the print bed. And that works. I also printed a carbon fiber PLA version. This worked out really well, but you know, I don't want to do carbon fiber because my nozzles will I'll just go through nozzles like crazy because they rip through these hardened steel nozzles. I mean, I think it takes a lot of filament to do that, and plus the color options for carbon fiber aren't as plentiful as PCTG. So now my concern with PCTG with 3D Fuel is the vendor itself. You know, if I were to gain traction with this product, my concern would be, hey, are they going to stay in business with all these colors, right? I think they are, but that's always a concern, especially with PCTG because not a lot of vendors support it. If I went with PLA, you know, you can get PLA colors from anywhere, right? It's plentiful, but specializing in a filament can be a danger because maybe you only have 1 or 2 vendors that support your filament. So maybe that's something to consider as well if you're going exotic like I am. I don't think it's a mistake, but it is a cause for concern potentially down the road. But again, you know, could I print this in a different material? Probably. Could I print it in PLA? Probably. With enough time and energy, I probably could try it out. And it'd probably be fine on anyone's house. I don't see why it would cause a problem. I don't know. I wanted to try something new and exciting and different, right? I wanted to be different. I didn't want to be like all the other PLA wall plate vendors on Etsy that I saw. I wanted to be something unique, right? Something that when somebody gets that product, they feel it. It's different than PLA. That's why I went with this material. It's a little shiny, which I kind of like. It's kind of impressive. So anyways, definitely don't back yourself into a corner as far as filament. Diversify your materials. Yeah, I understand that, Scotty. I think for now, I'm just going to stick with what I have. But maybe, you know, I might try getting into PETG High Flow, I believe it is. It's really popular, this Polymaker PETG High Flow. I might check that out. So I might want to explore PETG and print these wall plates out because I know how to print them really good now. So maybe I might do that. That way, at least I know if that vendor goes down, doesn't sell the material anymore, at least I know, hey, I've got an alternative source. So you are right. I'm gonna look at that. And maybe I'll do a video on that too. Sourcing. Because even Bamboo Labs, the filament, man, like at least from December to March, you couldn't get their filament. You could get white and maybe black. That was it. I think they've since finally caught up with their inventory issues, but man, you couldn't get any. Yeah, PETG is plentiful, and you can get it in a variety of colors for sure. All right, Now I think all these modules that are, you know, they're basically garbage modules. Half of them don't even really perform like the modules I have now. So I'm probably going to end up throwing all this plastic away, unfortunately. That's the nature of this 3D printing business and manufacturing in general, is you're going to throw away test prints, right? And inventory. As I realized through my subscribers, you guys are doing the same thing I am. I'm looking for a bin to just kind of, because I want to use this for parts actually. I don't want to throw them away. I always hesitate to throw things away. But I'm probably going to end up throwing away. I'm just keeping them in case I want to redo that video. I haven't edited it yet. Oh, here we go. I think I've got something down here, don't I? No, I'm just looking for something here. Toss them in somewhere. What's up here? Yeah, these are old units. I'm just going to toss them in here. There, because I'm going to use it. This new shelving system is kind of nice. It gives me just that little bit extra space that I needed to maneuver my way in that workshop. All right, so, all right, yeah, so I just need a spot for my colored modules. That way, if I need to take them out and do any product photography, I've got them available. All right, so got the red ones. And I like these because they're so small, you know, as far as a product goes. I mean, it doesn't take up much real estate to print these little guys. And I'm going to have fun making these new modules. So, yeah, you're saying, I was told the bamboo shortage was due to Bamboo is now making filament in-house versus outsourcing. Yeah, because they were using, I think, Sunlu, right? Because the Sunlu reels are essentially the same thing. And I've taken the refills, the bamboo refills, and put them on the Sunlu cartridges, and that works out fine. I had one spool go bad, but it was like just a reel issue. Not a reel, but just how the filament was rolled up on the reel. It was totally messed up. But I've used them on other Sunlu reels, and it works fine. Let's see here. Okay. Yeah, I got to take photography of the these yellow units here. What do you guys think of this yellow? You think somebody would hang this in a DeWalt tool room with maybe black? I don't know. I think it's kind of fun though for kids too. Like I could see a kid wanting a yellow wall plate. I've got a cobalt blue. I might do cobalt blue as well with these wall plates. Just have fun with it. Who cares, you know? Like, what do I have to lose? Nothing. You know, just put myself out there, offer it up as an option. It becomes kind of a striking image on the internet too. Like, what? There's pink wall plates? Who's making pink wall plates? Who's making yellow wall plates, you know? Maybe get some attention that way, right? I've had great prints from Sunlu filaments. Me too. My almond... this right here, this is Sunlu. Great, I love the material. I think it sometimes is better than bamboo. I think the Sakura pink as well. I used bamboo for the first batch, but then it ran out, so I had to go to Sunlu, and I think they're fine. No problem there. This one is Creality Ender. It's the real cheap stuff. I mean, it's black. It's very forgiving. It looks fine. It feels fine. I will say it feels cheaper than the higher end PLA filaments, but it's a black little tiny hairbrush holder. You're not going to be feeling it all day. You're just putting your brush in it. You've got one, Scotty. Yes, bone white is, well, let me think. No, bone white is this material here from 3D Fuel. I have tried the bone white from Bamboo. It looks kind of similar to this. It's a little darker. This one is jade white. That's what I'm using for the white. It's a little softer than your white wall plate, Scotty. I just like the little bit of softness on these surface mount products. I don't know. I'm just picky about that, I guess. But yeah, the black is the Ender Creality. And then I also do the blue. I have a blue brush surface mount that is Creality Ender as well. But this stuff is a little more expensive, this multicolor filament. Really feels nice too, I think. I forget the vendor. They're like no-name vendors for the multicolor filaments. I just look on Amazon, I'm like, what looks good? Okay, I'll go with that, you know. And I've never had a problem printing with these off-brand filaments. All right, so that's done. All right, let me put this back. Yeah, I made like 6 of these things. I made black, white, and almond for the outlet colors. That way I could easily like maneuver these things around. You know, I got one here with 2 of these little hook modules connected. I think I'm done with this one. I'll have to uninstall these, you know, take them off. But I was just going on and off, on and off, on and off. And then I got a little bin of all my, you know, tools, widgets that I want to show on a photo. So, yeah, just going through the motions. Again, this stuff takes longer than most people think, creating product photography, that's for sure. And I've been using this black one for close-ups for the modules, which I might just do. I don't want to blind you guys though. Let's see here. And I'll move you guys around. Maybe I can do excuse me, kind of a front view. It might not blind you over here. All right, here we go. What are you guys up to this weekend? What's everyone up to? My plans this weekend, let's see here. I don't really have any major plans. Next weekend is my daughter's dance recital. This next week we'll have 2 baseball games. Yeah, this weekend I think I'm just gonna spend time with the kids. I played Mario Kart tonight with my son, and then maybe bust out a board game since I cleaned up this whole board game area now. Maybe I'll do that with the kids, play some Rome. What's crazy too is somebody bought, I'm pretty sure, am I still alive? Yeah, okay. Somebody bought this, I think they bought Foundations of Rome on this board game video I did months ago. I don't even remember doing it. Because I set up this YouTube shopping. I don't know what it does, but it must do like affiliate advertisement in the videos. But somebody ended up buying a $300 board game. I got a $50 commission on that. I thought that was pretty cool. Because that's the only game I was showing on that video that was $300. All the rest are like, you know, $50. That's pretty typical for most of these games. All right, I got to do these modules. So I'm going to take my yellow modules. I got to still take photos of them. I'm going to do that first. So I take one photo attached to the black wall plate. That way I get a lot of contrast in the video, in the photo. And I just do each one close up. So, and I zoom in pretty far in. Now, as far as Etsy goes, I don't think I'm going to sell. Well, I don't know. I got to decide, do I want to sell the individual modules on Etsy for $3.99? I don't want to because I wouldn't make any money if I didn't charge full shipping on that for sure. I don't think anyone's gonna buy one module, really, but I don't know. I'm like weighing my options there. I gotta take this SD card out. Give me a second. Here we go. Yeah, I'll probably I mean, on my website, it's not a problem. On Etsy, though, they charge you 20 cents a listing, which is not a big deal, but I don't know, it's just annoying that individual modules, they're going to charge you 20 cents to list it. I don't know, I've got pet peeves. I've got problems. One, it's like, do I want to have a ton of items in my store, these little individual modules, or do I just want to sell bundles on Etsy? I'm leaning towards just selling the bundles. Maybe I can do like a bundle of like 4 of the same type versus 1. I don't think I want to deal with the 1. All right, here we go. Full light. That's what I always do. There we go. Perfect. Yeah, this looks great. Now, the one module that is really tight, I think it just doesn't have a lot of flexibility, is this cable. But that's okay. I mean, it's tight on the unit, and it won't move much. You know, if you're messing with your cable much, that's kind of a good thing. I haven't had one break yet, and I've been putting them on and off, on and off, on and off. The plates don't break, and neither do the units, so I think I'm good with it. I don't plan on making any changes to them. And, you know, when people get their modules on the units, it's not like every day they're going to take them off, put them on, take them off. They're just going to leave them on. Most people are going to leave them on, put their tools in them or their bathroom little knickknacks, and leave them, you know. Like my daughter, she's got a room full of these, you know, Tecton Nook products. They just stay where they are. She never moves them. They're full. Her bathroom is full of, to the brim. She probably needs more, but then she wouldn't have a mirror. I gotta reposition this one. All right. So there's the hook. Done with that. Let's see if there's anyone in the chat. Let's see here. Yeah, the modules are PCTG as well, Scotty. Shots in the dark. Get to hang out with my wife tomorrow and get to see my boys for a few hours Sunday. Great. Otherwise, hope to get out to the farm for a few hours. Oh, that's great. That sounds like fun, man. I love farms. We've got lots of farms in Michigan. I live near farms all around us, and I love nature. All the deer, corn, soybeans, whatever they're growing. I love it all. But unfortunately, we got like a controversy in the town. Not really a controversy, but like a big debate on this solar farm that DTE Energy is, or Consumers Energy is trying to install or put in this massive solar farm that is on like a main drag or a main road. And there's been like meeting after meeting. Even politicians are getting involved at these meetings. And so, and there's all these signs around town like, say no to the solar farm or whatever. I get all that. But the problem is energy, man. Energy. I mean, I know there's probably some problems with solar. Don't get me wrong. But energy is not going to get any cheaper. So I don't know. It's a tough call. There's pollution from fertilizers as well. So that's the controversy that's happening in my town. I'm sure it's happening all over the place with all these data centers. You know, not in my backyard kind of thing is going on all over the country right now. But it's probably going to happen. And in my opinion, you want as much energy generation as you can get, because otherwise your bills are going to go up. So, and now that oil is a problem, you know, you might want some solar. All right, check this out. Sorry if it's bright. I don't actually, can you see that? Let's see. Yeah, there we go. So I do just kind of a quad shot of all the whole bundle that I'm selling. So I get that in. I got each color. That's the main photo for the workshop bundle. Alrighty. And it's not perfect, you know, like it's not going to match every time your other colors. But it's good enough. I better just get an individual one of each one as well. Because I don't like to always just come back down here because I forget a photo that I needed. Because I got to set it up. You know, you got to make sure you got your SD card in your camera. You got to make sure you got your light box set up. I might take this down. If I stop making products, I'll take it down, right? I always just do like a 45-degree angle. There we go. Yellow's done. But now I got to I got to do my lifestyle photos with the yellow. I haven't thought about what I'm going to do there. I'll probably do, I don't know if I care for having the lifestyle photo with the yellow modules. I don't know if I care for that. But I definitely want to do a DeWalt themed scene with the main wall plate with black modules with stuff hanging on them. So that's going to be my kind of AI generated photo that I'm thinking of. So I'll probably end up doing that maybe towards the end of this kind of photo shoot. I want to make sure I'm not missing any chats here. Let's see here. Okay, no one's chatting. Yeah, there's three of us hanging out. We're just hanging out, you know. You guys just like to hang out and talk about business, you know. And things in general. All right, so got the modules done. And now I'm just going to do the traditional standard wall. I'm calling them the solo shelf because it's more designed for a full shelf rather than, this is more of the small, tiny phone shelf kind of thing. So I'm calling this the charge, calling this the shelf. This holds more, that holds your phone, that kind of thing. And that can hold other things as well. But that's the naming so far that I'm going to go with. And if anyone comes up with anything better, then maybe I'll change my mind, you know? All right, let's do products. I got to lower this ISO a little bit. Yeah, there we go. I don't want my highlights to be blown out. And that's zoomed in. I give myself a little bit of room. I zoom out. That way the raw image at least has room to crop in or go farther out on product photography. So just one of those things. I only do really 2 photos. When it's not mounted to anything, I just do 2 photos. And then I'll mount each one and do photos there as well. I don't use all these. It's just more like I just want them just in case I want to work on the computer and do something. You know, if I have a scene idea, then at least if I have all angles, I can make the scene happen, you know. That one's done. All right. And I think that print might be done. Yeah, it was getting close to being done. All right. Yeah, I love the 45 on this. Here, I'll show you this. I must be like into show and tell. I like showing you guys this stuff. Let's see I don't know if you can see it here. Let me see. There we go. There we go. I'm looking at my computer to make sure it's in the frame. Yeah, it is kind of. I have a lot of fun doing this, guys. All right, that one's done. And I think that print is done, but I'll do these 2 things. I got to put a grommet in this guy, so we'll do that next. Because I think No, I think the print just got done. I'll hear the did it. Maybe it's done. I don't know. Now, I haven't taken a lot of photography of this grommet solution yet. I haven't edited any of them yet, but I'm trying to get like an interesting angle, a top-down angle of the grommet itself, so that you understand that it's a something that you can put your phone charger through. But I've got a few different angles there, but I'm just going to take a nozzle and put it underneath it and angle it up. I'm just hacking here. That's not going to work, no. That's all right. I got two photos of this. Now let's go put a grommet in this. I'll take you guys with me. Maybe that print's all done. I got to turn my phone off, or my camera off, because that battery. Connect your encoder to go live. What happened? Oh man, did I lose you guys? Let's see here. Hold on here. Let me see here. Am I still live, guys? Let me know. Let me refresh this guy. Maybe it's just my browser or something. Oh yeah, it looks like. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Oh, you got, all right. I'm still here. Okay. Yeah, for some reason, I don't know, maybe my phone like went to sleep or something. Because the way this works is through the Osmo 3, it goes through the phone, kind of, the app. So I don't know how that all works, but yeah, whatever. Yeah, it looks like I'm still on. Cool. All right, we got to put a grommet in this guy. Then I can take photos of this one, the duplex. Oh yeah, we're almost done here. We have, 409. Let me see if you guys can see that. 409 layers out of 409, so it's about to finish here. That's the best feeling when you get a print to finish, and better finish successfully. It's got like a couple more lines to go. 0 minutes left. Yeah, so if you see there, let's see if you can see. Yeah, so I've got 270 degrees C, 90 on the bed. It looks like it's around 45 in the chamber, probably from the heat from the bed. Yeah, overall, I mean, this PCTG can print really well if you work with it and take your time on it. Just like any other filament that's, you know, a little more difficult to work with than PLA. All right, let's put a grommet in while this is finishing. I got a whole baggies and baggies of these grommets. This is just one that's almost empty. Get my razor out. I do like, let me tell you what, these cabinets that I bought, these are nice. Kind of slide out, put my main tools there. There we go. We are done. Live action printing. It looks like I've only got maybe 200 grams of material on the yellow left. So if I do offer this as a solution, I probably need to buy 1 or 2 more reels just to have on hand. All right, here's my razor for my grommet. Now I let my prints cool for a little bit before I take care of them, but I'll take it out. This thing is so hot. That's what, tell you what, having these gloves are great. These gloves came with, I found this on another YouTuber channel. It's like this set of files. Let's see, it's called Rex Betty. These files, these gloves came with it, and they're really nice. And I use them every day on this PCTG stuff. Even PLA, sometimes the bed is hot. Ooh, that looks nice. Nice and toasty. 4 hours, 27 minutes. There we go. I like hearing it crack too. It like cracks as it's cooling. Not the part, but it's like cracking off the bed, you know, the PEI plate. So it's kind of fun to hear that, because then I know, hey, it's almost ready for me to take off. All right, let's get this grommet. And I like this little door that this previous owner installed. So I can just go ahead and hammer away with the razor. Don't matter. It's a workbench. Work on it, you know? Beat it up. That's what I say. If it's not beat up, you're not working hard enough, you know? All right, there we go. Got a little grommet there. Get my finger through. We're good. Now I can take a photo. All right, that's going to cool. You know, I was printing like crazy last week or two doing this new product, but after I'm done with this yellow, I don't really have too much more printing to do. I don't print just to print, right? I like have an objective typically. I'll probably start printing these modules next, as well as this exhaust concept. You know, I might run that exhaust kind of up here where these lights are. I might have to adjust some of these bins. I hung some bins up here for these little retail packaging, and that works out pretty good, so I do like that. All right, so I'll take this product photography. That'll cool off. That'll be ready in a minute. I might print maybe one more tonight. Yeah, I think I will start one more print tonight, just on the one printer. All right, here we go. Okay. All right, now there is a flaw in this print, which I did fix earlier, but I don't think it's going to show up in the product photography. So I'm going to go with it. Yeah, you can't see it. That thing is cracking. I can hear it. Coming right off the bed. The PCTG does come off really good off of those PEI plates once it cools down. All right, that one's done. Okay. All right, let's see. Let's see. Yeah, I'm streaming through the DJI, Scotty. Here, but heading out. Thanks for the live stream, and hope everyone has a great weekend. Thanks, Shots in the Dark. I appreciate it, man. Appreciate you stopping by. All right. Yeah, we're at 1 hour 58 minutes. It's pretty good. I don't know what my record is. It might be like 3 hours. Not sure. All right. Now I need thinking. Let's see, it's a yellow plate. It needs a white electrical outlet. So I'm going with that. White electrical outlet and white Decora. All right. So now I need to change feet from here. I only printed so many of these little feet, so I take them off and use them on the other little plate. It works out. It's fine. This one kind of got busted up, but that's what the feet are for, is covering that up. And you know, Photoshop is pretty good about knowing what the background is. So maybe, you know, to be honest, it might be better with a black background. I don't know. Sometimes it can recognize black as being the background. Sometimes the white fades in with some of these products, so sometimes it doesn't always work. I don't know, it's hard to explain. You gotta work with Photoshop a little bit. to understand the nuances behind it. Let's see here. Yeah, these boards aren't clean cut sometimes at the bottom. This one, at least in particular, is there. Got it. That's why I'm going to print more of these. I probably should print some tonight. Then I don't have to keep taking stuff on and off. All right. There we go. You know, I had some white screws around here. I don't know where I put them. Oops. Oopsie. Well, see, they're pretty durable. No cracks, no bends, no breaks. I'll just steal another screw. That's probably what it is. I probably got a screw on one of these that I'm missing. That's all right. I'll just pull this one off. Oh yeah, it's on that one. Yeah, that's where it is. Duh. Duh, Dan. Get it together, man. There. Looks pretty good. I like it. Again, I'm not going to use all these photos. It's just like, it's good to have them. Like maybe you might want to use one angle for a certain scene for some reason. So, all right, there's that. Now I'm going to add the modules, these black modules, to this yellow plate. All right, yeah, I got my bit bar. Now I usually do the modules without anything in them, and then I'll put stuff on them. That way I have a photo of each, and I can make decisions on, you know, how I want to make the scene. And I'm not going too crazy. I'm only doing like, I think at this one I'll just do 3 modules. Because like, if you just overflow it with stuff, like people, they're like, oh, it's too much, you know, it's too much going on. So, kind of being cautious about it. Because I could print more of these modules and like just fill it up, you know, but I just think that's kind of ridiculous. I'm thinking reality here. How would people really use it? They might have 1 or 2 modules, that kind of thing. So I got my keys. Oh, let me take a photo without stuff on it. Yeah, that looks pretty good. All right. So I got my keys. Put my keys there. And I did, on my website, techtimecreations.com, I changed the problem photo, which is a messy workshop. And I described to the AI, I said, hey, give me a workshop scene with a messy bench with keys, screwdriver bits, and screwdrivers, kind of messy on the countertop. That way afterwards, when I take the actual product photo, I have keys, screwdriver bits, and screwdrivers in the scene all cleaned up. Again, there's no guarantee that this is actually gonna work to sell people on the vision and the strategy, not strategy, but the vision of the company. But that's the direction I'm going in. I'm going with it. Because everyone says on the internet, you know, if you want to sell a product, you got to take a problem and solve it. And that's what people understand. So that's what I'm going with. Okay. All right. I'm going to leave a couple open. I got my screwdriver bits in. I'll show you guys the scene too. Do I have my screwdrivers here? I have one. I don't need 4 of them, I don't think. Maybe I don't want red. I want yellow. Oh, they're over here. There's that. Yellow and green. That's just what I got. All right, we're going to go with that. That's fine. That's fine. We'll do 2 screwdrivers. Okay. That looks pretty good. I think that would work for... I could put maybe just a razor on the shelf, you know. All right. Yeah, that's not too gaudy, I don't think. When I say gaudy, I mean busy. That's what I mean. Busy. All right, I'll show you guys. Make sure I'm still live streaming. You always got to check these tech things. All right, let's see if I can show you guys this. Looking at the video here. Yeah, you guys see it. Okay, cool. Awesome. That's the scene I'm doing. And maybe tell AI, hey man, put this on a DeWalt themed tool room wall, right? All right, I think I got the photo. Yeah, looks good. All right, that's done. And then, you know, I could, yeah, I better, yes, I'm gonna need this version too, the Decora. Let me get my screwdriver. Look, I'm using my product. My screwdriver's in it. All right. I'm excited to do these bathroom modules just from this pink perspective, these pink wall plates. I don't know. I'm still bullish on selling female themed products. Women spend a lot of money and they have a lot more stuff than guys do. So I'm bullish on that. Let's see here. What do I want to print? I got to take the supports off that because I kind of need to use that. But I'm going to have to take photos of every variant because if somebody goes just to that one variant's page, you want the same scenes to be available. 1 second, guys. All right, sir, almost midnight here. Have a great weekend and keep the videos coming. Yeah, for sure, Scotty. Thank you for hanging out. And again, thanks for the order and the shout out and the unboxing video. I appreciate all that. And I'll do probably a video on your videos if you don't mind, hopefully. Obviously, you're on YouTube, so, you know, having a little bit more exposure, it is what it is, right? All right, got this product done. I'm probably going to be calling it pretty soon because it is getting late here. And I'm sure my wife is still awake, but she probably wants to talk and hang out for a little bit. So I'm gonna maybe go another five or so minutes or so. All right, there's that. All right, let's get this one in there. Different angles. There we go. Now I can put my modules on there. See how long this takes, guys? Product photography. It takes time. All right, we're just gonna go with 2 modules. And I really like the keys, but you know what? No, let's just go 3 modules. Forget it. Same scene, same products, keys. You can probably hear my lens auto-focusing and adjusting. All right. Oh yeah, there's that other screwdriver. Can't have red in there. You know, the DeWalt people won't want that red in there. There we go. Get the 45 angle. We'll do a straight on, even though I don't really use the straight on angles. All right, that one's good. Anyone else on here? Let's see here. Always sounds great. Yeah, for sure, Scotty. I'll definitely be doing a video on your video. It'll be a little bit of a, or I guess a review. All right, let's see here. I'm going to take the supports off. Might as well. Let's see here. Oh, something popped up on my computer. It was just some program that crashed out. All right, everything's working good. Here, I'll bring you guys in with my computer. That way, if anyone has anything to say, I can chat it up. Still 6 people in here hanging out. Just want to thank everyone for showing up on a Friday night, you know, here to hang out. All right. Got my computer. All right. This should be ready. I think you guys can see it in here. There we go. All right, cool. There we go. All done there. Yeah, this one is kind of tough to get these supports out from here, the bottom. This might come off easy, I don't know. Sometimes you just got to kind of work it. All right. Now, what's nice about the units with the grommet is I can stick my finger through the hole and pop the supports out. But for this one, the shelf, it's a little more work. So I just take my pliers here and just start ripping away these supports. No, that didn't work out good. Sometimes they come off easy, sometimes it takes more work. There we go. Once you get it started, you can work your way through it. There we go. I got most of the modules out, or the module slots out, but sometimes they linger in there and I got to pull them out manually one by one. See, that's how small they are. And it's weird, like different materials or different colors for the same filament type have different behaviors on how easy these supports come off. Come on. Sometimes I don't even have to get my pliers in here, but sometimes I do. This one I do. There, that one's out. See, and this is going to keep the competition from coming after me because no one's going to want to spend the time to make a product like this. I have one string in here I'm going to take out. There. There we go. Got the slots out. Now I printed this little Bamboo Lab. Like, you know, this comes with your printers, one of these scrapers here. Now I don't use them to scrape anything off these PEI plates, but this does work for getting this support material Again, if I had 2 nozzles, I wouldn't be doing this, but this does work to get this stuff off, fortunately. See? Same like PETG. Oh, is that how it behaves? I haven't worked with PETG very much. Just I have some PETG carbon fiber, which I find that carbon fiber rips. You can rip supports off pretty easily. All right, I'm almost done. I mean, even though I'm not even, well, I could sell this one. You know, these are more for like my own little photo inventory. I still get them prepped to where they're sellable, they're shippable. That way, if I'm, you know, if I don't have time to print something, I can just go to my product photos and ship them out, I guess. Because they're just going to be sitting in that bin, not doing anything. All right, that looks good. And then the back here, I gotta put this in a little tiny crack, lift it up, little by little. Once I get lifted up, and then I get my finger around it, then I can just get it all out with my finger. And I gotta be careful not to break this. I mean, this is very durable, but if I were to ream on it quite a bit, I'd probably break it. So I gotta be cautious. All right, there we go. Pretty clean, comes off pretty clean. Now there is some roughage spots sometimes I look for, even on the back, even if somebody's not gonna, you know, you're not gonna be using the back, you're gonna install it, but, you know, if there's anything, you know, that's sticking out, like it's kind of rough on the back, there are little tiny spots that I try to trim off to make nice and smooth so that you don't feel anything rough on the back, or at least too rough at least. I just rub my finger on the back, make sure everything's good. Yeah, it feels good. And then I just look for any tiny imperfections on the rear of the unit, and then I get out my handy dandy deburring tool that a lot of 3D printing channels always say to get one of these, which I highly recommend too. Yeah, there was just a little bit of plastic I didn't like there. And just look it over, make sure everything looks good, up to your standards. Yeah, everything's good. Solid product, ready to sell and ready to take photos of, right? All right, let's see here. You can use Polymaker Cope as support. It's a bit cheaper than PLA. Okay, so there's like a specific one that these vendors have that are really cheap to use. Yeah, kind of like I've seen like recycled filaments too that are kind of just random colors or something like that that you can use that are cheap. I said I was ending the stream in 5 minutes, which I do need to probably call it a night. Yeah, I think I might call it a night. I did quite a bit. I got all this cleaned up, and I got to take, I'm just going to set the ones that I need to take photography of out so I don't forget which versions I need to take photos of. Alrighty. Alright guys, so here, let me turn that thing off because that is really bright. Alright, cool. Yeah, I'll do some editing this weekend, try to get more photos done so I can launch these these products, these new ones out on the website and on Etsy. It just takes time. All this stuff takes a lot of time and thought. It's kind of like engineering the product. It does take a fair amount of thought into how you want to craft the message for the product. If it's a brand new product that you've never worked with, that's a whole different story. These are similar, so it shouldn't take me too long to get the product images done, because it's pretty much the same thing. So, but anyways, I appreciate everyone showing up on the live stream, hanging out, chatting, letting me know what's going on in your life, and talking 3D printing and business. It's always fun. Some people use PLA as support, or PETG, because it doesn't stick well. Yeah, PETG, I heard, doesn't stick as easily as PLA. So yeah, I definitely, you're kind of convincing me to get an H2C. So all right, see you, bro. Keep up your hard work. All right, we'll be seeing you guys. Say goodnight to Gizmo. All right, you guys have a great weekend, and spend time with the family and the kids, and we'll see you guys Sunday, okay? Later. Got to end the live stream here on the phone. All right, later, guys.